Hey, welcome to Agent After Hours. I am here with Kyle Art to talk just about real estate in general. I'm going to keep it a little bit casual today. I don't have my, I can actually shut this.
It looks like you have notes.
It's my crutch, though. This is, I always have to keep it open. So I just want to dig in. You run a team.
Yep.
And give us a little background on how this came about with running the team and what your expansion goals are.
So do you want to start from the get-go, or do you want to go from where we're at?
Let's go from where we're at.
So currently there is 6 agents because we just hired one Friday.
Awesome.
We are, it's Rob, myself, and my wife Stacy. We're currently covering Kentucky and Ohio. I'm focused in Kentucky, but you know, some people don't care and they look on both sides, or we've got friends, family, whatever. So we're going on both sides, and I'm currently working on my Indiana so that we can expand and cover that.
Awesome.
But we're just looking to grow and service as many families the way we do as possible. You know, we have our set things that we do, and we want to make sure that everybody's taken care of the right way.
All right, so let's dig in a little bit. We tried to get Stacy down here a minute ago.
Yep.
What's the dynamic like working with your wife?
It's I'm blessed. My wife is very easy to get along with. So
and he's not saying this. Just
no, not saying it. Just I'm blessed. There is she's very easy to get along with as far as anybody that knows her. You know, it's a different dynamic, but it's a good thing. You know, I've been in it long enough that she's been around it and knows, you know, what to do and things that go on, so she's very well aware and in tune, and then got in the business herself, so it's been good.
So let's go backtrack just a little bit. You were licensed first.
I was licensed first.
Was she doing administrative stuff on the back end, or what made you or her decide to take the plunge and say, hey, we're going to do this together?
So we will go way back then. So I started, I left my, wasn't really a warehouse sales job. She was a nurse. Started on a team, but was really by myself. There wasn't anybody local. By the time everything came about, that team had pretty much dissolved. So had a little bit of support. Then met with Frank months into it, and went with Frank for years until I was developed enough of my database that I could branch out and do my own thing.
Sure.
So that was when I left Remax. Went on my own for a few years at a boutique brokerage. And when I was out, I was busy enough, but I didn't have enough support.
Sure.
I tried to have people trained, but nobody, it's hard to find somebody to help you that cares about your business as much as you do.
Right.
So that when that person is your life partner, they are in tune and they want the same goals as you, or they should.
Right.
So she started doing some administrative stuff and helping me with that. And then we decided she was a nurse and made pretty good money, but it's always a weird situation, you know, weird hours and all that. So it messed with our schedule. You know, we don't clock out at 3 or 4 o'clock and are done.
No.
And she was working till 7:30, getting home at 9. So it was really not really messing with things, but it was hard to adjust and relying on a lot of people with kids and all that. Oh my gosh,
my wife worked third shift at the hospital for years.
So
it was trying at times, for sure.
It gets pretty nasty. So so pre-COVID, she decided. I kept asking her, you know, when I was doing it by myself, I said, if I make X, will you quit your job? Yeah. So we went through it, and we did that 3 times, and finally I said, you know, we went on vacation one time, came back, and she's like, I'm done. I'm ready to just step away from it, and decided after she stepped away from it for a few months that she's not stay-at-home mom personality. She wants to be doing stuff.
In the office.
She needs to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
So we decided for her to, at that time, the way the Ohio-Kentucky thing worked, get your Ohio, you can come into Kentucky and only do the law. Gotcha. So that's where we started. So she did Ohio, and then does Kentucky. She's actually the only one on the team dually licensed. So
Awesome.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. But that's worked out well.
So tell me a little bit more about the team dynamic with 6 people. Like, what are the roles and responsibilities? What works for you guys?
We're set up right now that the 3 of us will do listings, and everybody else is just doing. They're responsible for buyers.
Gotcha.
It's our philosophy is you need to learn that first.
Yeah.
It's really tough to take on the responsibilities and do listings. That's where I started with Frank, was a buyer's agent, and did it for years, and you learn the ins and outs of things, and you transition and grow. I'm a firm believer in teams. You don't know what you don't know, and for me, I remember when I was basically by myself going on listing appointments, I had no business being there. I was not doing them any justice
right.
by not, you don't know what you don't know, and that's part of it. So I'm a firm believer in the team setup of starting on that and learning and progressing from there.
What do you look for when you're looking to hire or bring on more people? What is the main ideal agent?
The ideal agent is going to be motivated, self-motivated, some fire in the belly, good character, and that all goes back and forth, but it's character and work ethic.
Sure.
We can do the rest. We can help with all the rest. You've just got to wanna do it. You can lead a horse to water.
Yep. Well, I find that the teams that I see that do fail, unfortunately there are teams that, whether they fail to grow as a team or they just dissolve completely, teams that I find that don't do well, their buyer's agents are 100% reliant on the team leaders to give them business. They're just the baby bird sitting there going, feed me.
Yep.
And I think you have to have that fire in your belly. You've got to be a self-starter and say, I'm hungry, I'm going to go out and find my own stuff too. Right. So, and then you have the ideal situation of not only is my team giving me a little bit, but I've got the support of the team for anything that I'm bringing in too.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's huge, is having the admin, having the team support. We use the team thing a whole lot during COVID.
Oh my
and
gosh.
During the, it was a little different and more so than what we had ever done as a team when Rob and I were on Frank's team. But it was a consistent, I'm not available at 5. My people are available at 4.
Right.
The house is available at 4, but I'm not.
Yep.
And so you went, you were working 3 schedules: your schedule, the buyer's schedule, and the house schedule.
Right.
And so we have a group chat set up that, hey, can you do this? And somebody was always willing to jump in and say, yeah,
sure.
I'll get in. I can get them in that house. We're all, we try to be, I don't want to say we're a machine, but we're doing the same things. So we
once
know
you get in the routine, and
we know what we're doing and how to approach things, and we all do it the same way. So it's
now with your group message, are you just group text?
It's luckily everybody has iPhones, so the group text is working. That is a requirement too. We actually asked the guy the other day. Rob said, "Well, you have an Android?" And he goes, "No, I have an iPhone." We're like, "Okay,
you're all right."
Nothing wrong with an Android other than group messages with iPhones. They occasionally kick them out.
Well, and we even started we use Marco Polo now, which I don't know if you've toyed with that at all. So if you remember like the old Nextel phones that like had the walkie-talkie, it's like that but with a quick video message.
Okay.
And we have our group chats that way because what we found is, you're driving 90% of the time. When you were just telling Tim, like, hey, text me, I'm driving. But you're driving a lot of the time, so texting's a little bit harder, or voice to text is not as good as it should be.
Yeah. Siri does okay for the most part.
She's all right, but if it's connected to your Bluetooth, then all bets are off.
Yeah.
But with Marco Polo, we not only can articulate a little bit better what we're trying to accomplish, but there's certainly the moments where I text something and I sound like a complete dick. And that's not my intention.
Right.
I'm just in a hurry. And so Marco Polo, you get to hear the tone of my voice, you get to see my expressions, and it makes life a lot easier. And you get the red receipts, so you can see who watched it.
Okay.
Everybody's on the same page. So that's my pro tip for the day. If you're not using,
my team is now going, cool, we're going to be using Marco Polo. Or
they're going to hate me.
Trying it out.
Yeah. So check out Marco Polo. It's a really cool app.
I'll say that the other option we would have gone with is probably GroupMe, but that's again, you got to open the app and do all that.
Yeah.
And it's
and you could use Work Chat.
Yeah.
You can set up a group in there. We've got one of those too, because if we're sharing links or something like that, it works better.
Yeah.
But
Marco Polo sounds.
No. If you're giving advice to an agent thinking about starting a team, what do you think? What do you say?
Well, it's a lot like going into the business. People ask me about going into the business. Listen, I love what I do, but it's a whole lot harder than you think and a whole lot more work than you think.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to, we're active. I still want to be in the field. I'm not trying to, at some point, maybe the team will be to where we're not in the field as much, or one of us isn't. But we're still in the field, but then we're dealing with our clients, and then we're dealing with agents and helping them, which that's what it's all about, right? I mean, it's all about helping people and helping, you're helping buyers get to where they need to be, sellers get to where they need to be, and bringing in new people and helping agents get to where they want to be, and ultimately we'll end up where we want to be. It's all about scaling it. It's tough. The first thing is you better, before you ever bring on a buyer's agent, bring you an admin on.
Absolutely.
You have to have that piece of the puzzle, and that's what we tell. With Nick is the new guy's name, which we wind up with 2 Nicks on the team out of 6 people. 2 of them have the same name. But during the day, from 8 to 4, if you come in, you have a question, our admin probably knows the answer and can help navigate the MLS and help navigate all that stuff, and answer any questions. Yesterday he came in, he's still in the midst of his job, so I won't go too far into it, but he's still working his regular job while everything processes. When we go through, because the state's going to have everything for 2 or 3 weeks, so until he can actually get out in the field and do stuff, he's coming in the evening, at 4 o'clock, and I was out showing. I got the phone call while I'm there, it's pending, so he showed me another one. We went down and looked at it, come back, and David's going over some of our stuff that we do, and answering him, because ultimately that's who you report to David a lot more than you report to us, because you turn in that contract, it needs to have I's dotted, T's crossed. So that's probably the biggest thing. And the other thing is make sure that you have systems in place to grow it. And be able to support things, because we're responsible for more than my family's mouth to feed now. We've got, like I said, 6 agents.
Yeah.
And then
awesome.
An admin. So, we've got lots of families to feed. So you want to be able to make sure that you can scale it the way that you really want to.
Yeah, and I think you just got to be careful on the systems that you have. Are they scalable?
Yep. Because
sometimes you can put yourself in that box or back yourself into a corner. It's like, oh, this isn't going to work if I have over 5 or over 10 or whatever it might be. We've had teams on that are 100 plus people, and it's like, what works for me now as an individual agent versus what worked for me as a 5-person team or whatever it is. It's completely different.
Yep.
You have to think about all those. Hey, can I have an admin view this? Can I have admin access? Can they have my login? Do I have to share that? What does that look like? So, any other tips and tricks you can think of for somebody looking to start a team?
I don't know. We were kind of, I don't want to say beneficial, but our team grew a little non-traditional way because of the way things happen.
Sure.
But
it's
a lot of work, and we're continuing to grow.
Right.
We are actively growing and been looking, and I'm going to steal from a thing that I think it was Cindy Shedderly said it. Something that's hire slow and fire quick,
fast,
fire fast. It's make sure they're a right fit,
Oh
because
my
you don't
gosh.
want a cancer. And you want, but you know, I mean, there's a lot of responsibility as a team leaders. You've got to be able to provide, and you've got to be able to answer.
Right.
You know, and you've got to be willing to take those late calls. You know, last night I was on the phone at 10 o'clock, and it's just answering questions. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, that's that's what we're there for, and that's the benefit of a team.
Right.
And we are set up a little different, where it's not just my team.
Yeah.
It's myself and Stacy and Rob. So we tell people, you know, you can't get a hold of one of us, you can get a hold of the other.
Right.
You know, 9 times
Well,
out
that's
of 10.
a huge benefit for the client, because the expectation for the level of service is only getting higher.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we're in an industry where the public opinion is very low because the barrier to entry is pretty low.
Yep.
So I tell people, you know, you're not competing with everything that you do. You're not competing against the agent down the street. You're competing against the advertising and the support they get from Apple.
Yep.
You're competing against the advertising that Nike's doing. So everything you need to do, or everything that you do, needs to have a higher level of expectation in order to continue to grow and succeed. And I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job. So kudos to you, and keep it up.
We appreciate that. But yeah, I'd be happy to talk to anybody that's thinking about starting it. They can, you know, we can talk. Rob and I can sit down with anybody and answer any of the growing pains we've gone through. It's still a work in progress, but you know, that's part of it. You know, and I love the fact of how we're set up. It's not my team.
Yeah.
It's our team, and
Love it.
we have lots of things that are going for us that, you know, we know how things are handled. If I want to go out of country for 2 weeks and turn my phone off, minus the text message, and if Apple can figure out how to forward a text message.
Yep. Well, soon they'll be able to Marco Polo you.
Yeah. I can do, you know, I can do that and know that the team and everything is going to be ran the way I want it ran.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and it's the same both ways. I won't say the way I want it ran. It's, you know, I mean, it's our team, but we're on the same page on everything. So it makes it really, really nice. I wish he could be here. We might have to do one with the three of us.
No, absolutely. Be
Or
happy.
the husband, wife, we can always.
I was going to say, we'll bring Stacy in too, and
I can tell you how I feel. She might have a whole other opinion.
The quick background is, he told me, go tell her we're ready for our video. And I was like, hey, you ready? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, wait. She goes, wait, we're doing this now? And I was like, yeah, we're going to go do the video. And you saw her just kind of like, oh, shit. And she turned around the corner and saw you, and she was like, I hate you.
Yeah, I'm not coming. She was ready to come. She felt the pressure of coming to the principal's office, but she knew she wasn't. She knew once she saw me that I was pulling one over on her.
Yep.
But you know, that's the fun of it.
Hey, thank you for joining. If you guys have questions, we'll put his contact info right about here. And yeah, we'll sit down and do this again here soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.